for real. Um, so it's today. Just giving you a heads up. I'm really happy and smiling to be here, but I've had weird episodes of just angry emotions all day. I don't even know where it's from. I almost feel like they're not my own. It's kind of hard to explain, but it's like I think there's this vibe in the air. Um, it could be political. I don't know, but I have I just this then it goes away and then it comes back and I feel comfortable with it because I don't act on it and I just experience it and then let it go because it's if I don't have to continue feeling it, why? And so yeah, I just wanted to let you know, but we're all safe here. Uh, so um, today is a special day for me. Um, for no reason absolutely whatsoever. It just feels very special. And I'm not even joking. It just does. Um, it feels like this whole week is a holy week. We have, Halloween and we have the Day of the Dead, 2 days actually. And I just really celebrate everyone who I've known and loved and who have passed on before. And I've had just weird experiences this year, and I don't know if it's from practice or whatever, but the experiences of feeling the good grief, the beautiful grief for just so many people who died before. I feel it to where I'm close to the point of awe and tears at the same time. I am a lot. So it's weird. And I just feel that presence this week. It's really strong, and that's why today is a special day for me because I feel like the first time in my life I've always known and honored these days for what they are, but I've kind of felt them. And and it doesn't matter whether I felt them because I have some real connection or because I've spent the time nurturing those feelings and letting them up. Either way, they're productive for me. So I can take a very scientific view of it, or I can take a very, what some people would say, superstitious view. Either way, it's valid for me as a practice. I really have celebrated and enjoyed um, not like ruminating on the past, but just seeing how all those people and animals and things were part of my life, um, and how they're still part of me today. Last week, at the end of the thing, I came to the conclusion I wanted to go into Christmas, and it has nothing to do with Christmas. It has to do with a story. And it was funny because I'm going to talk about a Christmas thing tonight, and it's going to be totally related to grief to me and to this time of year. And I'm thinking this as I'm walking into Ferris High School, and I open the doors, and the band is playing Christmas music. I'm like, they're playing Christmas music already? And go, oh yeah, they will have a Christmas concert in about 5 weeks. They need to be playing Christmas music, right? So it was kind of strange. And of course, the room I'm stationed in is 4 or 5 classrooms away. Actually, 3 classrooms away from the wing where all the music comes out of. So I get to hear them every morning. And a while ago, I got to hear them play Chicago, but this morning I got to hear them play Christmas music. And I thought it was funny. I just thought, because of what I wanted to talk about. And I want to talk about Scrooge. And seriously, last week, Scrooge came in and he stayed heavy on my heart. Because I feel like Scrooge in a lot of ways. I have that Scrooge part of me, and I have parts of me that are very unscrooge like, right? And how grief, um, how he came to have an encounter with grief and how it changed his life for the better, right? um, so Scrooge, he's got this view that you pinch pennies, you make money, you make your own self. Everything's about business. Life is not meant to be enjoyed. We all know Scrooge. I probably can't tell you anything about Scrooge you don't already know. Uh, and he has this old business partner named Marley, who, if you do get the sense that he does grieve Marley. It may be the only person he admits to grieving, but he grieves Marley because at least Marley was like him. You know, he was a miser, he was selfish, and he had these very stringent views on the world. And so he's visited by four spirits, right? First, he's visited by Marley, and Marley is saying, "The life you lead now is the life I led." And he says, "I regret my whole entire life." Everything he had done had left him in chains. He's in the bardo. We'll say the bardo. He's in the bardo, and he's still in chains. He's still wrapped up in all the things he had done in life based on his selfishness and his unwillingness to open up, to be miserly. And then the three spirits come to him, and I can say how they relate to my own life. We have first the ghost of Christmas past, and in that one, Scrooge sees several of the relationships in his past life, and how he had chosen to live his life, how it had cut those people out, and how he had isolated himself from all those wonderful people. And his grief then is not even the death of those people, but just the fact that they were never even in his life. His wrong views had just isolated him. And then he saw the ghost of Christmas Present. And the ghost of Christmas Present, love that guy. He is so jolly and happy. But don't underestimate the ghost of Christmas Present, because he brings Scrooge to the truth. So with all his laughter and giving, he shows Scrooge that there's a child who's dying, there's a family who's broke, there's people who could have been helped from him and relied on him, and he didn't come through for. So, yeah. He saw that, and he began to care, and he began to open up, and his view was beginning to change. That he didn't want these people to suffer like this. And Scrooge didn't want to be isolated and not have an impact on the world anymore. He wanted to have an impact, and he wanted to relate to people. And then he sees the ghost of Christmas future, which in this story is not laid out. He's not fated to any particular path, but he is invited to see, if he continued on the life he was living, what the result would be. And shows a child who dies, and it shows him dead and no one coming to visit his grave, no one necessarily having cared that he existed. And it breaks him in the best possible way. It breaks him. And I love that I can look at my life and look at the things I've done wrong in the light of Scrooge, and in the light of all stories like Scrooge, where there's redemption, not in the Christian sense, but in the sense that you can choose a different path. And Scrooge chooses to do that. And we can say it's the spirit of Christmas, but I just believe it's the spirit of recognizing there's suffering in the world, but because there's suffering in the world, there is compassion, there is love, there is the ability to give to others, to share with others. And it's just such a big gift that it just makes the suffering almost mandatory. Yeah. So today, I wore the hat my dad gave me for Christmas 9 years ago almost, and found out it's a newsboy's hat, also called a Gatsby's cap, because someone came in with the hat on today that's very much like it. And what I loved about the hat, I read it, my dad gave it to me, and I saw it, and he saw I liked it, and he got it for me for Christmas. And I just read it was 51% polyester and 7% wool. And I just sound because that just sounds so much like a present someone in my family would give me, you know. And yeah, I put it on, and it's a special hat, and I wore it all day today, and it was nice. Um, so my favorite chant is this one, and I don't get to do it nearly enough, but I feel like it's the hardest to do because when we do it, we can all take a different pace. So when I say it, you guys can say it at different timing. And all it is Om. And when it's done very well, everyone says Om when it's their time to say Om. So if you feel like you need a breath, take a breath and start a new Om. And it doesn't matter whether anyone else has started a new one or ended one or is in the middle of one. It's just your time. And we all go in different times. And those of you online, you can say Om at your own pace if you want. Of course, no one has to chant. People can just quietly meditate and do whatever. But I love Om because to me it's not only the sound of the universe, but to me it just connects directly to my existence in the present moment. And I feel as though it's very emotional and very heartfelt also. So whenever you're ready, I'll get started, and you can start with me, or you can go at your own pace. You can not do it at all. And I'm sure all of you've had the opportunity to do this before. So. Let's just take a few breaths to enjoy the silence. Namaste. Okay, so let's go ahead and sing. May we be happy and peaceful. May we be healthy and strong. May we be safe and protected. May we live with ease. Namaste.